It's Friday afternoon and we are Conscious World Agents. My name is Claudia van Zuiden.
My name is Arturo Mazzaro. And, well, first of all, we want to wish you, of course, a beautiful day, the rest of this day. Yeah?
Yeah, that depends on from where you're watching.
Yeah. And we have, well, I think it's an interesting topic that we wrote about this week, or at least we talked about it.
Yes.
And that is what you sow, you will harvest, you will reap.
Yes.
So who's already there? Ah, nice.
It's Radna is here and a kind of, that is, of course.
Kidaronin, our great friend.
Yes, wonderful that you're here.
Okay. Is there anything that we need to say before we really can dive in?
I don't think so. Let's just dive in.
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
Okay, we dive in.
We're already a little bit later. Sorry about that. Sometimes that happens.
Sorry? Why sorry?
Well, sometimes people think we start at 3. And yeah, we try to do it as regular at 3 o'clock, but didn't happen like that.
No.
So I'm just finished from coaching, so a little bit later. So.
Well, let's go back to the topic. What you sow, you will harvest. When we look at a farmer, we find it pretty normal that if he puts potatoes in the ground, that there won't grow tomatoes. If he's putting, well, what kind of other things do we have?
Tomatoes or tomatoes?
Yes, of course. If he put beans in the ground, he know he will harvest beans, and it won't be
a courgette.
That's it. And exactly the same is it how our mind works, how the universe works. Tesla already said it. If you really want to understand the secret of the universe, it's all about energy, frequency, and vibration. And why is that so important to really understand? Well, your feelings, your thoughts, your beliefs, they all have a frequency, they all have energy, they all have a certain vibration. And you put it in the soil of the universe. And what will happen if the thoughts, the beliefs and the feelings have more or less a negative connotation, it's heavy, it's really dense, then the universe will show you life as you sow it. As you plant it there in the soil of the universe. And then you will see life towards coming to you as heavy, as dense, and maybe not as positive as you want it. So it's so important to really be aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what your beliefs are. And it's not about letting you feel that you're guilty of everything that you see now in your outside world. That's not what it is about. Because if you don't know this well, and it's at a subconscious level, you're never guilty of it. And even if you know it, you're not guilty of it. It's only that you can be aware of what the results are. And please don't judge the day by the harvest. Because that's something that you put in the soil of the universe last week, 2 months ago, maybe a year ago. Judge the day how you plant the new seed in that soil. And that will help you. And one other thing about this energy and so on, a lot of people want to have control. They want to drag out the potatoes too soon. They want to really see the beans there already and eat them before they're really grown up. And that's the control part that you want. And a lot of people, I want to get to reach to that goal, but how shall I do it? And everybody will ask the how question. But the how question is not your domain. What you need to do is to put the seed in the soil. That's your domain. And the how and the when it will grow, that's not up to you. That's up to the universe. You can also say it's up to God. You take that. It's a nice saying. I don't know who said it ever, but he said, "You take," or she said, "You take care of the sowing, and the universe will take care of the growing." And that's so important to understand. And as soon as you want to have control over it, you don't have enough faith or trust in this. And then the mind is going again, sending out energy and thoughts and beliefs that are undermining the first thoughts. So it's all about every day, don't look to your circumstances. Well, you can look at, of course, at your circumstances and see, well, is this what I want? No. What can I change? How do I need to do it different? That's, of course, great. But if you let your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts depend on what you see on the outside world, then you stay in the same loop. You stay in the same circle of, again, sowing these kind of thoughts and beliefs that you don't like. You see them and you give them, again, some kind of label, and you put it again in the soil, and it keeps on going and going and going. I hope this makes sense to you. So if you want to react, please do. If you have a question, please do. And another saying is, with every deed, you are sowing a seed. And that's also a nice one. And don't look at the end result. And that's what I said the first time. Don't look at what you harvest, the end result. Look at what you are planting right now. How do you want to feel? How do you want to think? How do you want to experience life? And it's all inside of you. And the outside world is only a mirror that's saying to you, hey, this is what you planted. This is what has been growing now.
My beans are taking too long. You've been sowing something.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And by saying this, just think about it and feel about it if this resonates. Maybe you want to have too much control over things. Maybe you want to see too quick the results. And if you do that, then a lot of times you will be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, then again you're sending out some vibration, some energy, because you don't like the results. You don't like what you harvest. And that again, that's not up to you. When the big things, the real things that you really, 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 really want, they will come. That's what Wayne Dyer said. But also, all the things that you really, 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 really don't want, you will also get. And that's what you are. That's what you see. That's what you plant there. Does this make sense so far? To you?
I understand it a little.
You understand it a little. Okay. What did I miss? Or?
No, I think it makes a lot of sense what you're saying, and
Yeah.
I think it's very helpful, and it's letting go of how you think it should be and all that. We have no idea, I think, with our limited mind.
No.
We have no idea how things can manifest. But if it's something that really comes from the heart, we can also look at, is it from the heart or of the mind that we planted it?
Yeah,
Is it
beautiful.
something that we have we think we should be doing, or it's conditioning, or blah, blah, blah. But is it something that is really in alignment with what we want, or is it out of lack? Or do we do something out of lack? Then, the result will never be in alignment with your true purpose.
Yep.
So as soon as you are coming from the heart, if you plant something from the heart, and what you're saying, I can visualize myself like holding it energetically in my hand and bringing it to my heart, and then really praying over that or somehow. And praying meaning like having the wish, for it to come out of the highest good for the highest amount of beings, for the greatest benefit. And then plant it, and then see what happens. And I think that is for me really sowing consciously.
Yeah, I love that, because it's also doing it unconditionally. It doesn't matter when it will harvest. It doesn't matter what you will see in the end result. You just do it with love, with all your heart, with the best intentions for everybody.
For everybody, for everything,
Yeah.
So I love that. Absolutely love that. And I think it says on its own already what it is. Is there a time lapse? Is there a timeline? If I believe, for example, if you've planned something to do it and you're giving it energy all the time and it's not coming out in the amount that you've maybe expected, something else will come on your path for you to continue. If it's really meant to be, something will come on your path to make it happen. It might not go in the speed you want. It might not go in the manifested material wealth you might have maybe seen with it, but something else will happen. It will be, if it's really coming from the heart, it will have the fruits, and the harvest will be what it needs to be. It's not up to us.
And it's important, that's already what I said, but these are a little bit different words. Don't look at the fruit, but go to the roots. The fruits may be a little bit bad or sour, and you wanted sweet fruits. Okay, well, don't change the fruits. Go back inside to the root, and the root cause is probably something you, at the subconscious level, were sending out. A belief that was put into you by maybe your parents, your teachers, it doesn't matter what, but it's there, or who.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who did it.
Yeah.
But you are thinking still that that's the truth. And there's no one truth. It's your truth. And as long as you keep holding that, grasping to that truth, and this is also what you will send out.
Yeah.
I have spoken.
Oh. Aha. Okay. Well, thank you for that, and I think it really added up nicely to the visit we had this week. We visited Sadhguru. We went to see Sadhguru, who was in the Netherlands, starting the tour of safe soil. And that was interesting, just to hear his view about how he sees that and the effect that this agricultural way of farming that we've been doing, how it's destroying the soil on the whole planet. And it was really interesting to hear how he saw that. And we like to have our ears and eyes and hearts wide open. And some people gave some comments the other day as well that, did we know with who Sadhguru was teaming up and all that. And yeah, absolutely, we all know that. And but we also know that it's good to keep your ears and eyes open and to see what's going on in the world, and make your own hard decisions accordingly. So that's what we like to do. And I think that's a nice bridge to my post this week. But I think a few comments are coming in, so let's have a look what we're saying.
Do our friend Aikidao, Richard.
Richard, nice that you're here, Richard.
Yeah, thank you for watching, by the way. And he's writing, there will come a breakthrough, unleashing the gifts of life, purpose, understanding, patience, trust, and real love. Well, great. I think that's very powerful. And Ratna is saying, when it comes out from the soil, other things move out the way. That can also be positive, definitely. Yeah.
Lovely, very nice.
And Aikido seeing Sadhguru in
Prague
tomorrow. Cool, nice. Have fun there.
Nice. Yeah. See what you think about it. They've got a nice tune. It's lovely to see the children and so forth involved with it as well. And he's doing what he needs to do. And there's a few of these people who are influencers in the world who trying to go certain ways, and we can keep asking questions, of course, always to them if there's something that doesn't resonate. So what it made me think about again was that about 5 years I was in Rishikesh in India, which is like the yoga capital almost of India, and I was already teaching Hatha Yoga for about 20 years, but I wanted to have a deeper understanding of some of the classical text and teaching. So I went into this ashram, into the jungle in Tapovan, and stayed with a teacher that also used to come to my house sometimes because I was teaching, and I would then offer his workshops also to my yoga students because he would go more into the deeper aspect of Kriya Yoga, Raja Yoga, Tantric Yoga, and then more in the aspect of the ancient teachings, the Kundalini energy, how to awaken that within oneself. And this was not like in the sexual path. There's two ways of the Tantric teaching, so it's the other way, which is more the individual way. So, and very interesting, and I learned a lot from many of the teachers there. And what I learned most since then was becoming aware of the thoughts that we have, becoming aware of how the thoughts affect how I act, how I relate. And without having then to become reactive on those thoughts, like I become the servant of my thoughts. I became the master of my thoughts. And that really helps me also to look at things as when we went to see Sadhguru, or you are in a certain situation, you get involved and you're not totally aloof, but you become the observer. You can zoom out a little bit more. And that gives like a calmness, an inner peace, a freedom. So it's like when we have the clouds coming by all the time in the sky, I stay aware that I'm not that cloud. I never identify with that cloud. I like to see that my mind is more like that spacious blue sky. That's always there. It's omnipresent. And the thoughts are just coming and going, and they just try to affect the weather. So it's more like with all these things, becoming aware of what are my thoughts. So the more I think thoughts that are perhaps distractive or destructive even, and we put that even in the one field, in the conscious field, I'm adding something to that level of consciousness. So I really look at myself thinking, what am I actually putting out there that is coming from my heart, coming from the true I am? And the more I do that, that is only what I'm sowing in my energetic field, but that's also what I'm sowing in the one field. So out of that, only things that come that are of that same resonance start to come into fruition. And that's what I've noticed in my life. So my life changed completely within those 5 years. And even noticing that, what happens with me, like all the plans that I had, were maybe totally different than what I thought they would be. But what I did do is I connected with my heart, and I said, whatever I can do on this planet that is from the highest good, the highest benefit, and for the greatest good of all, for myself and for others. So I'm really this full potential. Let it happen. Now, here I am talking to you now on Facebook. And whatever that is like, that's what I've planted. And my life is so rich in so many ways like that. It's always coming from that place of love. And that is the truest richness I found. So I put in an experiment, like with yourself as well. Ask yourself, what would love do? What would love say? And that is something that will bring you on will bring things on your path and will take you on a path that can only be of that resonance. Yep. So even when the difficulties came and difficult challenges or big decisions had to be made, I would still check in with myself, what would love do? And that love might have said, just be quiet now, or just do this one thing or this one thing, and that would be it. And then from that, straight away a response would come. Like you say, if you go into the extreme other direction, that will also come to you. Yep. So it also became a more balanced way of experiencing this life. So, yeah, I found, like going to Sadhguru this week, I found really lovely, in a way that I love being amongst Indian people, to be honest, because they are I find them very devoted to the universal energy. I can feel that much more than when I'm in the Netherlands. I find it a little bit more subdued. It's maybe because it's another energy in how we relate to the universe in general, I would say.
Thank you.
What do you mean by that?
In general?
Yeah, no,
it's
I
not
think
all the time, I think.
No. But I mean, it's so much more alive there. When I'm in India, I feel the aliveness and the connection with the divine is much more part of life than in the West, so to speak. Okay. So of course that happens within yourself, but I love being around. Yeah, like we when we do the yoga or whatever, we always make that connection, or when we wake up, and that is in our daily practice. But it's not with everyone. But it's lovely to be around people who have that as well. That energy is very inspiring, I find, and it's uplifting, and it's positive. It's thriving life. So yeah, in order for us to all have that experience, in order for us to set each other up for success, I think we need to take care of each other as well. If you notice that someone is really going through a difficult period in their lives, or they're really down with their mind, see what you can do. What would love do? What could love do for them? What could you do for them? And we're all very much on our own spiritual journey and very consumed by my enlightenment and my greater awareness. What are you doing for others in that way? What are you doing for the greater environment all around us? If we're all interconnected and everything is so conscious, even water remembers. When you say things to water, it remembers. They can show that now. So imagine what we say to each other, How does that affect all of us? So what would love do is my huge mantra, and I love to read and hear what people are saying.
Well, first of all, Dorothea, thank you for your comment. It's so good to listen how you explain everything with good examples. Thank you. And Aikido, or Mr. Ronin Richard, love says, go home to your heart. Become unbreakable, become silent, become close to oneself. Love says, be in connection with other wisdom keepers. Love says, holding the space. Love says, wake fully your potential. Wow. Love says, repair what you can restore. Love says, keep it simple and follow your interest.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful answers your heart is giving you already.
Yeah.
So and that will lead your path, I suppose.
Yeah. some things you say or you write, it's become close to oneself, become silent, become unbreakable. You are already. And really feel that you are already unbreakable.
Yeah.
And when you really understand this, then this is the energy you will send out. This is the frequency that you will send out. Then this is the vibration that you will put in the soil and the universe. You are already perfect.
Yep.
And a lot of times we put things in the soil that have to do with thinking in lack, thinking you're not good enough, not really loving yourself, low self-esteem, and all these kind of things. And this is also then what you will see, you will harvest around you. And don't blame the outside world, and don't blame yourself, but go back to yourself and see how wonderful you already are. How perfect you already are.
Yeah, and then I think that is a job for a lot of people. I remember His Holiness the Dalai Lama said once that in the West, one of the biggest issues is that people don't love themselves. They are very hard on themselves. So when we learn what that means to really truly love ourselves, we can start to embody these things. You know, like you say, or like Arturo was saying, we are already free, we are already calm. You know, it's the thoughts that distract us from making that connection with that. I believe that's how it works for me. So when I see that the thoughts want to take me away from that spacious blue sky where everything is perfect already, then it's like, my thoughts are coming. Thoughts are distracting me like that. They want to take me away. And the more you do that, you start to embody this calm. You start to embody this peace, this love. You make that connection again. And I think that's what we have not learned from a very young age here. And hence I'm a great believer in that we start to do this with younger children from a very young age. Yeah. So yeah, like Arturo said, you already it.
And once you give attention to that thought of, instead of being calm, then this is already what you are sowing.
Yeah.
And Richard is now, yes, thank you. We are, I am, that's the daily work.
So it is for all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Very helpful. Okay, so so anything else that you would like to ask us now? If not, then I think we had a beautiful session, and thank you for watching.
Yeah,
it's been
absolutely.
Wonderful, and for being so interactive.
Yeah.
And just check with yourself, what is the energy and that you carry in your heart, and if it's a heavy energy that you find that distracts you from, wants to take you away from that beautiful place that you already have, then ask yourself again, what would love do? What would self-love do today?
Yeah, and just imagine everybody will do this.
Yeah, wow, what a world.
We don't need war.
No.
We don't need division.
No.
We don't need even inclusion, because we already know it's there.
Yeah. That's it. It's as simple as that. If we all live from that place, that non-hurted place in our hearts, let's envision a world like that.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah. Have a wonderful weekend. We will, at least. We have our third module.
Yes.
The third module of our 4-leaf clover program, year program.
2 days.
2 days in a row again, and we are really, really looking forward to tomorrow and the day after. And this evening, I always say, do at least 2 things that makes you happy. This evening, we are going somewhere. I cannot say because she doesn't know yet. But she's going to love it.
I will let you know what it's been. Oh, wonderful surprise. Well, have a wonderful weekend, and we're so looking forward to seeing the participants of the 4-Leaf Clover program, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And if you want to spend a whole day with us on the 19th of April,
Yeah, beautiful.
consciousworldagents.com, find Experience Day, and have a read what we do there.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's going to be a wonderful day with all of us.
Yeah, and if you sign up with a second person, the second person has a discount of 50%.
They are
That's
a beautiful gift for someone
half price.
if
That's
you
good.
can. But it will certainly help you to connect with that full potential that you are.
Yeah, and so far we only have Dutch participants.
Okay.
So if it stays like this, then of course the Experience Day will be in Dutch with some English sheets, but
Yeah,
that's
it.
doable for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.